All right, gonna do a quick rundown of some of the more specific things that Squad Leader is able to do. As you see on the role selection, they've got the ability to call transport, artillery. There's also satellites that or a satellite that they are able to access. So in order to grab the Squad Leader role, you just come over, interact with the board, change the role, go to Squad Leader. Now, I have a hotkey set up for the artillery tablet. Mine is the end key, and I believe it's in one of my previous tutorials how to set up that key. But there's also an ACE interaction. So if you use your self interaction key, you'll see the Durango's artillery. You can go ahead and hit that. Now you've got a couple of buttons down at the bottom that offer up a couple of different things. You got artillery, loitering munitions, cruise missiles, CRAM, radar, satellite, that type of stuff. Squad Leader has access to artillery, to the satellite's radar, CRAM. So let's start with F4. So in here, there are a couple of CRAMs out there. As Squad Leader, you have the ability to enable them, disable them. Also, if there is radars deployed, they will show up here and you are able to enable them and disable them as well, along with turning on alerts. The radars actually are really nice. You can turn them on, turn on alerts, and then if you've got artillery coming in, I believe it's up to 300 or 400 meters to the artillery. They will pick up the artillery and show it on the map, so you have the ability to pinpoint their location. Now, the big one for Squad Leader is going to be satellites. So I'm going to jump out of this real quick and just Squad Leader should have a UAV terminal. So you'll definitely want to grab one of those. You can open it, and what you do is you come in and you will see satellite. So you can click on the satellite, and then you can get an overview of where the satellite is located. You have the ability to do night vision, thermals, and then normal view. But they will also use the enhanced by pressing B, so you get better thermals. You get some pretty good zoom in. You can see the CRAM there at the base. So it works out real nice. And this is not something that the enemy will detect. So it's simulating literally a satellite. So we can go ahead and release that. But the important part of moving it is, as you can see, it was right over the base. If you go back into your tablet, you can select the satellite, double click it, and then you can move it to another location if you want. Put it over this town. And then you look down here in the corner, it's going to take 26 seconds for it to reposition. So while that is moving, we will go back to the artillery portion of it. So right now, these are the different pieces of artillery that are sitting out there. You've got the mini Harpy launcher. Oh, there's the notification that the satellite is in position. We can go back to the UAV terminal. Sure, satellite is selected, gunner control, and now as you can see, we are in a different location. So, great way to do fast, quick reconnaissance. Satellite works out very well. You have no laser pointer or laser designator with the satellite, so you can't use it for lasing targets, but it's a good way just to get on site, get some intel, that type of stuff. All right, let's release that. All right, so back to the artillery tablet. As I said, you've got these items here that you can select from as far as what kind of munitions can be shot out. Actually, the artillery here gives you quite a few options. So if you want to call in artillery on a location, you got a couple of different options. You can do polar, where if you put in your spotter location and then you can specify a direction along with a range from your position, you can call in artillery that way. If you've got the 10-digit grid, and I guess back to polar right there, you can see the format that it has to be in. So if you needed to call in artillery at, due north of your position at 300 meters, you would just put 000, comma 300 as your range. Then you can hit polar and it'll take you to the next step. If you have the 10-digit grid, you're able to punch that in here. You can hit target, and then it'll allow you to select the munitions that you want to use for that particular location. You also have the ability to do map click. So if you wanted to call in some sort of artillery fire on a location, you can do map click. Oh, sorry, you have to hit control first, take control of it, then you hit map click, and then you can select your location. You can see our satellite was over in this location. Go ahead and click on that location, and then with this, you have your choice of which kind of munitions you want to put in. If you want to be spot on, you can actually fire for effect, giving how many rounds, if you want to break it out into circular position, box position. This is going to be the arc on the round. So if you do a lower arc, travel faster, higher arc will take longer, and then you can actually set up how the munition is going to explode. If it explodes on impact, if it's going to delay and then explode, or even airburst, which is pretty slick. And then once that's done, select what you want. Going back a second. Each one here specifies how many tubes are attached to it. So going like with the IR flare, there are 4 tubes. So what's going to happen is if you call in 1 round, it's actually going to be 4 pieces of munition. So you'll get 4 of them. So if you call in 3 rounds, you're actually going to get 12 munitions coming in, which is really nice for if you call in smoke or flares. Great way to light up an area or put down some large covering of smoke for concealment. So what I'll do is I'll teleport us to a location, and then we can call in a quick artillery barrage. Let's see, teleported. Let's open this back up. You know what? I'm gonna make it nighttime real quick so we can. Binoculars. The other really nice thing with this is with your binoculars, you can actually press a space bar, and this is an ability that you'll have as squad leader. You can press the space bar, and then you see down in the left-hand corner, it says artillery coordinates registered. So now, if we open this up, you can see these match very, very close to what you're seeing here in your grid coordinates. So what we can do is we can call in yellow smoke. We're gonna control it. At least you can only control one at a time. Control target. Let's just do single fire on that spot. Now it'll go ahead and calculate up the firing trajectory. So now it's plotting it. It takes 47 seconds. And that plotting fire mission is random. So it can, it can be faster, it can be slower. All right, and then while that's loading up, to the artillery page. So those are all, I guess maybe I should have done that first and then come back to this. Okay, now as you heard, shot was fired. There's our smoke. It's this. Skip time. Go ahead and put ourselves into night. What we're going to do is we're going to shoot this, control that, target. What we're going to do is we're going to pick 3 rounds. Go ahead and give it 100 by 100 and do 3 rounds with a 45-second interval. So this should put 12 rounds out, shooting the white flares.
Message to observer.
So if you ever needed to light up an area, this should work pretty well. It's kind of slick. As you can see, different plotting time. There is a cooldown time for those munitions, so as you see, the yellow smoke just got ready again. There's our first barrage of 4 flares, and decent job of lighting up the area. You didn't have NVGs or anything. There is also the ability for calling in IR flares, so you could call those in. You should see the next batch of flares showing shortly. There's our set. 45 seconds seems to be about the right amount of time to give first batch to burn out, and then the next batch is already lit up the area. Okay, I'm gonna time back up again, just make it day. Apparently 2 days later. All right, so next thing I will go over is using Hunt IR. So this is kind of a pretty cool thing, just a little mobile camera that you can bring with you. So in your 320 launcher, you can go ahead and load up a Hunt IR round. And in your inventory, you will have to make sure that you have the Hunt IR monitor. So as long as you have that, you can do this. So you'll need the Hunt IR rounds and the Hunt IR monitor. So we can go ahead and fire one of those up, and your self interaction. Go into activate that. It's that search should find that Hunt IR camera or munition that you launched. There it is. Have the ability to move it around with your arrow keys. Night vision. There's the village that we had launched those artillery rounds into. If you ever needed something pretty quick, just get up, get some eyes around. You don't have a drone available to you. It's pretty cool. Now it is just like a normal flare. It is using the parachute, so it's losing altitude. See it up here, sitting up at 212 meters, slowly dropping. Got grid coordinates of its location. You're flying right over it. You can escape and you're out of it. And there it is, right. And finally, we have the support services. So in here, actually, all units will have access to the Little Bird for calling in and having it RTB, but then Squad Leader has access to these other VICs. Pretty sure everybody's used these before, but we can go over it one more time. You can select the vehicle that you want, come over, tell it what you want it to do. So if you needed to have extract come in, you can have it, just do pickup. What it'll do is ask for smoke, pop smoke when it comes in asking for it. Then you'll have to confirm with it, and it'll ask you if it's the color of smoke that you popped. If it is, you confirm it, and then it will land. You can get on. Then it'll have the ability to RTB. So you just simply do that. Pick your location. I don't know exactly where we're at on the map. I guess I could have looked first. Pick up here. Map, it should locate the specify the landing location. Should see him take off there. He's off shortly. Should be him right there moving for us. All right, and then once he lands or gets close to you, we'll ask you, like I said, to pop smoke. You'll pop smoke, go back into support services, and you just confirm the color with him. Also has the ability, you can load up at base. You can then have him move to those locations. You can also fast rope, paradrop, that type of stuff. So, all right, I think that covers everything that the squad leader is able to do. Like I said before, you guys got any questions, let me know. Thanks.